The U.S. military buys 11 specific items before every crisis. All are under $5. All are at Walmart. Their combined cost is less than $40. FEMA has never published this list. Let that sit for a second. Commercial emergency kits sell for $150 to $300. They cover fewer scenarios. They use lower quality components. The military's validated loadout costs a family of 4 under $40 from any general retailer. By the end of this video, you will have the exact item list, the exact quantities, the exact step-by-step assembly process the military uses, and you can build it in one shopping trip. 11 items, all under $5. One store, one trip. Here's what they buy and why they buy it. Welcome back. If you're new here, this is what we do. We find what works, what's proven. Oh, what no one told you. Not because the information is classified, not because it's hidden behind some paywall, but because the people who validated it never bothered to pass it along to you. The military wrote it down. FEMA didn't forward the memo. We did. If that sounds like something worth staying current on, subscribe. Stay on the list, because we're building one right now. Let's start with the first 4 items. Total cost, under $12. Item 1, petroleum jelly. You know it as Vaseline. You probably think of it as lip balm. The military thinks of it differently. FM 21-76, the Army's survival manual, lists petroleum jelly as a multifunction field resource. It seals minor wounds against infection. It protects exposed skin from windburn and frostbite. It lubricates tools and zippers in freezing conditions. It prevents blisters on long movements when applied to feet before they form. And here's the one most people miss. Coat a cotton ball in petroleum jelly and light it. It burns for 4 to 5 minutes. Steady flame. Wind resistant. That is the military's primary improvised fire starting method. 5 functions. 1 jar, under $2. Item 2, duct tape. You already own this. You don't respect it enough. Duct tape was invented during World War II. Ordnance workers needed a waterproof adhesive tape to seal ammunition cases in the field. Johnson & Johnson developed it for the military. It sealed ammo crates in the Pacific. It patched tents in North Africa. After the war, it went civilian, but the military never stopped issuing it. FM 3-05.70. The Army's current survival reference documents duct tape for wound closure, splint construction, shelter repair, gear patching, blister prevention, and rope improvisation when wrapped and twisted. Wrap it around a water bottle to save space. You now have 20 feet of structural adhesive in your kit for under $4. Item 3, Ziploc bags. The gallon size. Heavy duty if they have them. This is waterproofing that costs pennies. Documents, medications, matches, electronics. Anything that dies when wet goes in a Ziploc. Double bag for redundancy. The military used them to organize kit components by function. They also work as improvised water carriers in a pinch. And here's a use most civilians never consider. A Ziploc bag wrapped tightly around a small electronic device sealed with duct tape provides a basic layer of moisture and static protection. Not engineered Faraday shielding. But better than nothing, and we'll get to real Faraday options later. A box of 20 bags costs about $3. Item 4, baking soda, 1 box, under $1, 5 categories of use. It's a mild antiseptic for cleaning minor wounds. It neutralizes acid. It deodorizes stored water containers. It works as a toothpaste substitute. And it functions as a mild abrasive cleanser for cookware and surfaces in field conditions. FM 21-76 references sodium bicarbonate in hygiene and medical improvisation contexts. 1 box covers all 5 categories for months. Those 4 items cost under $12 combined. The next 3 cost even less, and one of them was used to close wounds under enemy fire before any doctor approved it. Before we get to item 5, a quick note. What you're getting in this video is the surface of what we've compiled. We maintain a resource we call the Vault. It covers long-term food preservation, water infrastructure, medical readiness beyond first aid, off-grid communication, shelter hardening, no fluff, no filler, every entry sourced and field tested, but everything you need for this specific kit is right here, free. In this video, link is in the description if you want to go deeper. Now, back to the list. Item 5, super glue. Not medical grade skin adhesive, regular super glue, cyanoacrylate. Here's the history most people have never heard. Cyanoacrylate was accidentally discovered in 1942 during wartime research on clear plastic gun sights. Researchers noticed it bonded to everything it touched. It was shelved as a nuisance. Then came Vietnam. Military medics in the field started using cyanoacrylate to close wounds under combat conditions. No sutures, no sterile surgical environment. Glue on open lacerations, under fire. It worked. It stopped bleeding fast enough to stabilize casualties for evacuation. Military medics were gluing wounds shut in Vietnam. The FDA didn't approve medical-grade skin adhesive until decades later. The commercial version you buy at the hardware store is chemically similar. It generates slightly more heat during curing than the medical formulation. We'll cover that limitation later. But for small, clean lacerations in an emergency where no medical care is available, super glue has a longer battlefield track record than most items in a commercial first aid kit. Under $3, item 6, cotton bandanas, not fashion accessories. Multifunction field tools. A bandana is a pre-filter for water with visible sediment. It's a tourniquet, it's a sling, it's a dust mask, it's a sun shield, it's a signal flag. It holds a splint in place, it wraps a hot pot handle. The military issues them because they fold flat, weigh nothing, and serve more roles than almost any single textile item. $2, buy 2, item 7, paracord. Type 3, 550-pound test. This is the cord that held paratroopers to their parachutes in World War II. After landing, soldiers would cut the cord and repurpose it. Shelter construction, gear lashing, fishing line from the inner strands, snare building, clothesline, tourniquet reinforcement, boot lace replacement. The military still issues Type 3 paracord as a standard survival resource. 100 feet cost about $4 at any outdoor or general retailer. Learn 3 knots, bowline, taut line hitch, and clove hitch. 100 feet of paracord replaces $50 worth of specialty gear. Item 8, waterproof matches. Not a lighter, matches. Here's why. Standard butane lighters fail below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. That's -6 Celsius. The fuel doesn't vaporize efficiently. At high altitude, performance drops further. Waterproof matches have no mechanical failure point, no fuel vaporization threshold. They strike, they burn, they work. The military specifies matches over lighters in cold weather and high altitude survival kits for exactly this reason. A box of waterproof matches costs under $3 and contains enough for dozens of fire starts. You pair them with your petroleum jelly cotton balls, and you have a fire system that works in rain, wind, and freezing conditions. 7 items down. Total so far, under $20. The next item on the list can purify more water than you'll drink in 10 years. Item 9, bleach, regular unscented household bleach. Sodium hypochlorite concentration between 5.25% and 8.25%. This is the single most cost-effective water purification method that exists. Here's the math. 8 drops per gallon for clear water, 16 drops per gallon for cloudy water. Wait, 30 minutes. That's it. One 32-ounce bottle of bleach purifies approximately 3,800 gallons of water. One bottle, $1, 3,800 gallons. A person drinks roughly half a gallon to a gallon per day. One bottle of bleach covers a single person's drinking water for over 10 years. Now compare that to what the preparedness industry sells you. A commercial 72-hour water purification kit runs $25 to $40. It purifies maybe 50 to 100 gallons. $1 versus $40. 3,800 gallons versus 100. The math isn't even close. Item 10, aluminum foil, heavy duty. 1 roll, under $3. Aluminum foil wraps food for fire cooking without cookware. It creates a makeshift bowl or cup. It reflects heat from a fire toward a shelter. It signals rescue when shaped into a reflective panel, and it provides basic electromagnetic shielding. Like military electronic warfare documentation references aluminum foil as a field expedient shielding material for sensitive electronics. 3 to 4 layers, tightly wrapped with no gaps, creates a basic Faraday barrier. It's not a tested enclosure, it's not military grade, but it's $3 and it's better than nothing, which is what most people have. Item 11, cotton balls, a bag of 100, under $2. On their own, they're medical supplies, wound cleaning, padding, applying antiseptic. But combined with petroleum jelly, they become the fire starting system we discussed earlier. Saturate a cotton ball fully in petroleum jelly. It burns 4 to 5 minutes. Wind resistant, reliable in wet conditions. 20 pre-made tinder balls fit in a single Ziploc bag. That's your fire kit, sealed, waterproof, and ready. Now let's talk about what the industry doesn't want you to calculate. A commercial emergency preparedness kit, the kind sold on Amazon, at outdoor retailers, or through dedicated survival companies, runs $80 to $300. Open one up. Inside you'll find lower quality versions of several items on this list, packaged in branded pouches with markup. The water purification component alone is often $25 to $40 for a system that covers a fraction of what a $1 bottle of bleach handles. The fire starting component is a $10 to $20 ferro rod that does what a $3 box of waterproof matches and a $2 jar of petroleum jelly already accomplish. The cordage is usually thinner than Type 3 paracord. The tape is usually not duct tape. The preparedness industry generates billions in annual revenue. The business model depends on a perception that emergency readiness requires specialty products. It doesn't. It requires 11 commodity items. Vague government guidance serves commercial interests by maintaining the gap between what the military actually buys and what civilians think they need to buy. When FEMA's ready.gov tells you to be prepared without telling you what the military actually procures, someone else gets to sell you the answer at a markup. If you're the kind of person who'd rather spend $40 and know what you're doing than $300 and hope for the best, subscribe. Share this with someone who still thinks emergency readiness costs a paycheck. The link to the vault is in the description. But stay here, because we're not done. You need to know where this kit falls short before you trust it. Let's be direct. This kit has limitations. Bleach degrades. After 12 months, sodium hypochlorite breaks down and loses effectiveness. You need to rotate your bleach annually. Write the purchase date on the bottle. Replace it every year. It's $1. Just do it. Commercial superglue generates more heat than medical-grade cyanoacrylate during the curing process. It's an exothermic reaction. On small, clean lacerations, this is manageable. On deep wounds, large wounds, or wounds near the eyes, it is not appropriate. This is for emergencies when no medical care is available. Small cuts, clean edges, that's it. The cotton bandana is a pre-filter. It removes visible sediment and particulates. It does not kill bacteria. It does not kill viruses. It does not purify. You filter through the bandana, then treat with bleach, in that order. Skipping the bleach step is dangerous. Aluminum foil Faraday shielding is improvised protection. It is better than nothing. It is not engineered protection. It is not tested to military electromagnetic pulse standards. If you need genuine Faraday protection, you need a tested enclosure. The foil is a field expedient. Treat it as one. Those are real constraints. Knowing them makes you more prepared, not less. The person who understands the limits of their tools is always better off than the person who assumes their kit is magic. Now that you know exactly what each item does and where it falls short, here's how to assemble the kit in 30 minutes. Step 1. Single trip procurement. Take this list to Walmart, Target, or any general retailer. All 11 items are in stock at any major chain. One cart, one checkout, one trip. Under $40. Step 2. Prepare your tinder. Take 20 cotton balls, coat each one fully in petroleum jelly, work it into the fibers. Each ball should be saturated, not just smeared. Store all 20 in a single-gallon Ziploc bag. Squeeze out excess air before sealing. That is your fire kit. Sealed, waterproof, ready. Step 3. Organize by function. Separate your kit into 4 modules. Fire kit, matches, petroleum jelly cotton balls in Ziploc, water kit, bleach bottle, bandana for pre-filtering, medical kit, super glue, cotton balls, bandana, baking soda, petroleum jelly, shelter and utility kit, duct tape, paracord, aluminum foil, Ziploc bags. Each module goes in its own Ziploc or section. Step 4. Label your bleach. Write the purification dosage directly on the bottle with a permanent marker. 8 drops per gallon, clear water. 16 drops per gallon, cloudy water. Wait 30 minutes. Write the purchase date. Replace in 12 months. Step 5. Faraday wrap for electronics. Take any small electronic device you want to protect. A backup phone, a radio, a flash drive. Wrap it in 3 to 4 layers of heavy-duty aluminum foil. No gaps, no seams exposed. Seal the edges with duct tape. Store inside a Ziploc bag. This is improvised, not engineered, but it provides a basic layer of shielding that zero preparation does not. Step 6. Store everything in a 5-gallon bucket. Hardware store. Under $4. Waterproof, rodent-proof, stackable. The bucket itself becomes a water carrier, a wash basin, or a seat in a field scenario. Snap the lid on. Store it in a closet, a garage, or a car trunk. Step 7. Scale as needed. What you just built is a 72-hour kit for 1 to 2 people. For a family of 4, double the consumables. Cotton balls, petroleum jelly, bleach, Ziplocs, bandanas. For a 2-week scenario, add a second bleach bottle and triple the tinder supply. For 30 days, build 3 complete kits and rotate the bleach quarterly. Total time, 30 minutes. Total cost, under $40. Total capability, more than most kits at 10 times the price. Here's what just happened. You built a survival kit using 11 items. Every single one is validated by U.S. military field manuals. FM 21-76, FM 3-05.70, Defense Logistics Agency procurement records. These are the same items the military buys in bulk before every deployment, or every disaster response, every field exercise. The gap between military readiness and civilian preparedness is not about money, it's not about technology, it's not about availability. Every item on this list has been sitting on store shelves your entire life. The gap is communication. The knowledge is public. FM 21-76 is not classified. It never was. The items are commodity goods. The only thing missing was the list. Now you have it. The military wrote it down. FEMA didn't pass it along. Now you know. Next week, we're opening a section of the vault that covers the military's approach to long-term water infrastructure. Not purification, infrastructure. The difference between surviving 72 hours and sustaining 30 days. Subscribe so you don't miss it.